Hi everyone, this is Sabrina. I'm here to share another quick, or hopefully it'll be quick. I say quick and then I'm here rambling on forever. But it's just another envelope share. I am preparing a package for my sister and I wanted to share with her some of the teas that Ginger Pana had gifted to me. So I needed something that I wanted it to look like an envelope. I wanted it to be an envelope. I didn't want to have to tie the closure, so I didn't want to have to use twine or ribbon or anything like that. I wanted to be able to stamp a sentiment inside of the whatever it was, the whatever pocket or envelope I used. I needed to be able to stamp an envelope in there, and it had to fit a note card as well, which might sound a little bit redundant, which I'll show you in a minute. But I wanted to stamp the sentiment but still be able to put a note card. This way I can write a note to my sister and then she could still use the envelope if she wanted to re-gift to somebody else. It had to comfortably fit 2 of the tea packets, and I'll show you what I mean, you know, how I got to this process in a second. And I also wanted to fit a gift card inside. So this is what I ended up making. I used my good old trusty handy dandy 123 punch board to make my envelopes. I did use, what size did I use? I used the 3 by 3.5 size. It says 3 by 3.5 card, so I used the envelope that would fit a 3 by 3.5 card, and this is what I made. So it's really what it says is really just a standing joke between my sister and I. So aren't you glad? But it's a trifold, and so I can comfortably fit 2 tea packets in there. I didn't bring the gift card to the table, but I can also fit in this pocket, in addition to the tea bag, I can put a gift card in there, and the note card fits in there. And then I have my little sentiment that I wanted to give her, and then it just folds. And then I used Velcro. And I was thinking about putting another little embellishment on top. But I think it came out really cute. I was looking for some type of trifold envelope, and I didn't come across anything that kind of met the requirements that I needed for mine. So I said, let me see what I can come up with. And so what I did was I made the envelope, if you can see here. So I made the actual envelope, and then I cut a strip of paper. So this length 3 by 13/16, and then 9 by 2/16. And then I scored it at 3, and then I folded the remaining part to make sure, you know, it's folded equally. So, and I don't know if you can tell because I used the matching paper. So I adhered, this is the strip. I adhered one side to the back of the envelope, which I had corner punched. So, you know, everything, all the edges match. And then I corner punch this edge over here so that everything matches, and it's cute. And it's actually kind of like an envelope note card in one. And then of course I covered up this little edge here where I adhered that side of the paper. And then you embellish, which I would probably embellish more, but I was trying to do something quick. I was trying to make them fast so that I can just go ahead and send out her package. So I like it because it's large enough. Like I said, it fits the tea packets that I wanted to put in there, but then I started seeing what else I can fit in there, and I thought it was super cute because you can put these little, the Ghirardelli. And I don't know if I'm saying this right. I heard somebody else pronounce it the other day on a video, so I don't know, but I call it Ghirardelli. So you can fit a chocolate and a tea bag in there, and it still closes pretty okay. And Like if you wanted to send one of your crafty friends some, you know, the little die cuts that we like to send out, you can fit die cuts, anything small. A small packet of sequins fits in. Little like teeny tiny embellishments fit. So you can fit all different kinds of things, as well as a gift card, which again, I said I didn't bring to the table. So I'm pretty pleased with this. I think I'm going to use these a lot because it's small enough that it's still cute, but you know, it's still chunky enough that I can fit a couple of little things inside of it. And I like the fact that it's a trifold. I like that there's 2 pockets. I can put my sentiment and I can include a note if I wish. So I made this one as well, which I like. This came out really pretty. And it's the same thing. And I used this, what is it, Paper Tray ink. I have to go, I didn't bring that over here either, but they have such a cool, I have a set from probably a year or 2 ago, and I just love the sentiments that are in that set. So, may your heart be touched by the true meaning of Christmas all year long. I like that. And then this one. And again, I like the fact, I wanted it to, you know, after decorating it and putting the closure on, I wanted it to still look like an envelope. So that was my goal. Now, before I got to that, I tried a couple of other things. This one right here is, I altered what Amber, who is Lyric Lover 810, and I will put the link to the video in the description box below, but she does a tea pocket holder, and I don't want to bend this back, just I'll put the video in the description box. But what she did was, where is it? Okay, so you have a 6x6 piece of paper, and you know, put it point to point and fold it in half. Now in her video, she puts it on the scoreboard and she scores, I believe, at 1/2 inch this way, and then at 2 3/4 and 5 5/8 this way. I didn't do this. I didn't do this one. And for her packet, let me just continue. So I did this way, and I did the 2 3/4 and the 5 5/8, and then you go ahead and you fold and burnish all your score marks. So you have this. I went ahead afterwards and I just lined up the corner, that corner of the envelope, just to any one of the grooves, so that I can make a score on either side. In her video, there's a reason why she does this score this way, because her packet, she does like a double packet and it's folded back and it stands so that you have this double packet. I didn't want that. I still wanted the look of an envelope. So I did the point to point and then the scoring this way. I burnished my folds and then I scored there. So hold on a second. So what you end up with is this. Now I folded this, and it's kind of off, but that's okay because I ended up putting a mat. So I adhered this side. I adhered these edges down. And initially I cut them, but it didn't look as neat. So I just left everything all together. I adhered this side down, and then I put a mat on top of it. So this way I still had the look of the envelope, and I had one pocket here, and I could still put a sentiment. However, see, I think it's still cute. And the tea packet did fit, but I had to kind of, like, I have to fold the edge of the paper down to kind of, so that it wasn't sticking out and I can still close it. So it does fit. And then I can put my little sentiment there. I could put a teeny tiny card in there, and it's super cute. But I knew I wanted to put more in the envelope that I was sending my sister. So I like this for a quick, cute little envelope. but I needed, you know, I made what I made because I needed something a little bit larger. So then after realizing, okay, I like this, but this is too small, I went ahead and I did this envelope. This size was a 2.5 for a 2.5 by 3.5 card. And again, it's just for me, for my preference, for what I know I was going to put in the packet for my sister, it was just too small, but I like this one as well. So I did the same thing as I did with the trifold. I made the envelope, and then instead of a longer strip of paper, I cut this strip of paper at, what was it, 3 3/4 by 5.5. And instead of adhering it in the back, I just adhered it on the front. So that works too because it gave me 2 pockets. But again, I kind of had to manipulate the packet a little bit so that it would fit in the pocket, and I just didn't want to do that. So it does fit. The 2, where's the other one? The 2 packets do fit in there. I just didn't want to have to fold it. So maybe for something else, and just for me, again, personal preference, I wanted to see the envelope. I wanted it to still look like an envelope. Again, just personal preference. So this one here, the mat had to go over that part of the envelope. But again, it's cute. So I ended up with 3 sizes. I have a small, a medium, and I guess what I would call a large. Or a mini, a small, and a medium. Maybe that's what it would be. So again, just some ideas to use envelopes, to use them as pockets, and to do a little, like I said, I wanted a trifold. So hopefully I've given you some ideas or a little bit of inspiration to go ahead and try something on your own. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you're enjoying, staying peaceful and comforted, you know, during this holiday season. God bless you guys, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.